Hello, everyone. Look who's here with me. I love when I have friends with me and I'm not by myself talking to myself. Hey, so it's the
Hi.
Heartie premiere party. I'm in my pajamas. I might be the only one. What do you have on, Deb? Your one calls the heart t-shirt?
Season 10.
Oh, where did you
Ooh.
get that?
I have a friend that has one of those little machines.
Oh,
Oh,
like Christina does too, right?
yeah, I do too. I have to. That's right. I should make me one.
I
Yeah.
have a mug, my Heartie's mug. You got anything with you, Teresa, besides
No.
your adorable self?
Me
I
either.
have
I'm
White
on.
Calls the Heart socks,
All
but
right.
I'm not wearing them right now.
Okay. And I
I'm
have
on vacation, so I didn't bring anything.
She's dedicated. She's on vacation,
I'm
and I
on
have
vacation.
butter cake. I had it flown in for real. I'm not joking on that. I didn't make it.
Wow.
Stand up and model, Mr. Shively. I will not. It's my pajama top. Here it is. It's pink, and the bottom's the same, and the trim is that way. So it's just a
I'm
little
just wearing my Myrtle Beach shirt.
comfortable loose. All right. So we're here. We're going to share our hopes and dreams and wishes for season 10. And then in between everything, I'm going to torture them with a game.
Yay!
Best thing is,
No.
last year we did a Heartie pajama party. I remember the girls had their hairs in like ponytails and everything. And who was with us? That Lynn was with us. And
Yeah,
we,
I did too. I had my hair in a
yes.
ponytail.
And we were
I
doing
had
games.
pigtail.
And one of the acting out, and it's the official game if anybody wants to get it, the bundle game. It said like giving birth. Act out having a baby when Elizabeth had little Jack, and I'm like, oh my god, I was dying. And then the other one that was hilarious was the one where it was a Mountie riding a horse or something, and they're going like this. It's the best, and it's still you can still go see it because it posts. Anyway, I was
I'm
dying.
about ready to get off now.
No, it's nothing.
Yeah.
You're okay. You're not Deb. You're going to behave. Just
Just
what
don't
Deb
make
is.
me do the birth one because I have no context for that.
Well, wait a minute. Most of the people, I think Christina was the only person that did who was on that night. She didn't get that one. It was funny.
No, I didn't. I think I got the one had riding the horse.
Yes, you were the Mountie. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
yeah.
We're
I
gonna
had to
do
be like,
it differently. We're not gonna do it. Don't worry. I modified it. The
Good idea.
Facebook interview. What? Everyone's talking. Oh, they're just all saying hi to each other. Hello, everyone's here. So we thought before we would get started, we'd be informative. So Deb, she's an admin to the When Calls the Heart on Hallmark fan page on Facebook. And do you know how you'll be handling? Because you have, first of all, how many members are there? It's quite a
Like
bit.
14,000. They're all over the world.
I know. I thought there was even more. Okay.
There could be. That's the site that we took over that was so bad.
Yeah.
It took us 6 months to get it cleaned up, and then we gave it to someone
yeah.
else. Then we had to clean it up again. Matter of fact, I'm watching season 1, and she's on it, and it makes me sick every time I see her. But anyway, I don't know how many are on it. I already posted something that this is the site that you're going to do the questions for and the spoilers. So hopefully they'll follow that and not put it anywhere else.
No,
But-
Deb, you underestimate it because you have almost 50,000 members.
And I'm going to contact every one of them.
You have 49. She has a lot of members on that page. Okay, so now back to this. What and you can contact every one of them by hitting at everyone, and then they all see it. So
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
yeah. All right. So how are you going to handle
that?
spoilers? You're not sure?
That was my ringtone. Don't worry
That's
about
okay.
it. My bell. Someone drove past my house.
That's okay.
Anyway, I've already got a site up that posts spoilers on this or ask questions on this site only. It'll be up until Wednesday, I think, after the first episode. Hopefully they'll follow that, but we've got a lot of people that have no clue sometimes of what they're doing. So
Yes. You know what we found to work really well is put everybody on except for people that like Christina, if she's on that page, you will know that she will only do it correctly. So you don't have to put her on postal approval. But I would put everybody on postal approval and then those that few that you can trust not, and then hopefully everybody will post where they should. That helps it. It makes it easy.
Yeah.
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 You're gonna
So
have.
when we get off of this, are you going to show me how to do that?
We will. And then
Okay.
on our when I have a Rosie and Lee with my girls, and they do the same thing. I'm not even in charge of it. I think it's Jeanette that might be in charge. She does a post and everybody has to post under it. And then we put everyone on postal approval. That kind of helps. I wanted to share what Julie was saying. Hi, Julie. Julie's saying that was a painful time. All of you worked hard to keep the groups full of good content. Yeah. So I think I remember you were saying that it took a while for you to like clean up all of like the there was a lot of spam on there.
Spam and
Yeah.
It was, I mean, reverends and priests from somewhere down south in Central America. And I'm like, I don't even, the first thing we did, we went private, and that cleared up a lot of that. But then we had to start deleting everybody who was a member prior to that doing private. So,
yeah, Emily was telling you it's like 45K. Emily has a page too. She has a different one that's a Hallmark one. Emily has one. I'm wondering how they're going to handle spoilers. Okay, what about you, Teresa? What are your plans as the season moves on? What are you going to do? Do you even know?
So I am going to be for anyone who reads my blog, I am going to have hopefully at least one post a week where I talk about the episode.
Okay.
I'm gonna shoot for 2 a week, but hopefully I'll at least get one. And then I'm also going to be doing episode reactions as soon as the episode's over on my Instagram page,
cool.
and live tweeting as well. And then I'm also going to be a guest star for the season 10 coverage of season 10 with Swing Your Heart podcast.
Okay.
So weekly, if anyone who doesn't want to like read my blog, they're free to listen to Swing My Heart podcast, and I'll be on there talking about season 10 as well.
That's with Ruth? Is that who that is? Who's your
It's with Nicole.
Nicole. Okay.
Yeah.
So on also, you have a newsletter. Don't you have a newsletter that comes out?
Well, that's the same as the blog. Yeah.
You can subscribe to that, right?
Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
There's and it's the Heartie Observer, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
All right. And somebody was asking what Deb's page was, and I put it on there. It's When Calls the Heart on Hallmark. And you know what? I can show you real quick what it looks like right now. It has that kind of a banner with that color. And then Christina on the Chris McNally fan page. How are we handling
the spoilers?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm going every Saturday. I'll probably do like a spoiler post, and then everybody has to put their spoilers on that post. We're not going to allow anything. I think we're going to do that till probably Friday. Mm-hmm. Then Friday, we'll allow, because there's we'll allow pictures and whatever, but mostly we want to keep it all on the spoiler post, because there's so many people like in Canada that don't get a chance to watch it right away.
Right. That's when I have the Way Home page. Canada was like a whole week behind us. And then some people got it a couple days after us. So what we had to wind up doing is nobody was following the rules of putting it under the spoiler section. So they had to put spoiler with all the dots, and we put them all on poster approval. And they got it. Yeah. I got. When will the Lucabeth Lounge start up? Oh, I forgot to address this. So Jillian should have been here tonight, but then at the last minute, she had something special to do with her girls, and family and children come first. So she wasn't able to come here, and I'm not quite sure when, but I do know, unless anybody else knows, if they've talked to Jillian, I do know that they said that once they had content, like once it started, then they would start doing their reactions to things. So here's my answer, Annie. Soon. That's my answer soon. Okay. Oh, good. Emily's saying Canada will see it the same time as in the USA, I think. Okay, that's
Oh,
good.
really?
Yes, but not everybody does. They just had some. I just saw a promo for Shine. I don't.
Yes.
Yeah, did you see that? Where is
Good.
that?
I
Where's
think Shine
New
is
Zealand.
Australia or New
New
Zealand,
Zealand.
Okay.
but
And
they said August 13th, I
yeah,
believe.
so theirs
Oh,
is different. That's what I know. There's some that are, and their time difference is very much different than ours too. So we're just all trying to be like as kind as possible, which is the Heartie way. So why don't we just dive in first before I torture you with a little bit of games? Let's see. What's Jean saying? I know
yeah,
I'm
I
on
can't see.
the fan group, but I don't know if I'm on Deb's when calls the heart and Hallmark. How do I find out? Well, you
Hold
go
on.
into Facebook and you type it in and you see it'll tell you if it's a member or not. If you're a member or not, you do a search. It's not really hard. It's easy. Okay. All right, we ready? Oh, New Zealand is what Brian was saying. Yeah, for Shine. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to start off with, I think, is a major storyline, which is the birth of baby Coulter. So, what are your hopes and wishes just for Rosemary and Lee in general, not just about the baby, but just their storylines in general? What are you thinking? Dive in, anyone. Go ahead.
Based on the promos,
Mm-hmm.
it looks like her water breaks right in the middle of her getting out of a car or a
Mm-hmm.
whatever. And it looks like Nathan is in the middle of eating something because he's saying, get out of the way, get out of the way, or something like that. And
Yeah.
he's eating something. And, so I'm sure they're going to play it for comedy. But then it's going to turn serious. And that's why everyone's doing the candle lighting in front of the house.
Mm-hmm.
But even Pascal has said that we're going to do it for comedy. So, but it's also going to be serious. But I can't wait. Just the thought of all this is just, I can't wait.
I know.
I know. I can't wait to see how Pascal's gonna play this out because it's gonna be really cute. And Kevin, because they're just it's gonna be really cute. I'm pretty sure it is.
My hope for them and their relationship is that we see how it's tough on them as new parents,
Yeah,
especially as working parents. But but also, my hope is not just that, but how others will help out, like they did for Elizabeth. Do you remember when she first had her baby? How one took up, and then the next mom took over, and the next mom took over. I love that. That was, that's
yeah.
what Hope Valley's all about.
And
So
I think it is because it looks like Kevin and Chris, have more of a bonding. Chris is like Lucas. It seems like he's helping out Lee, try to calm him down and things like that. And I think they're going to have them bond a little bit more, and probably help them out with the baby and stuff.
we'll
I
see.
think.
Yeah. What do you think? Well, what is your hopes and wishes for them? Not just as parents, Emily. I mean, Emily. I'm reading what Emily wrote. Sorry, Teresa.
So I'm just really excited for it because, this is years in the making. I took it upon myself to rewatch a lot of the seasons before this season, and you just see how big of a deal it is, like for them to be starting a family.
Yeah.
And I always love the Lee and Rosemary scenes where they're at home and it's more
Yes.
like intimate conversations. And I
Mhm.
feel like because, of the whole situation going into season 10, we're going to see a lot more of that and less of like them being at the office or,
Yeah.
whatever. I'm just very excited to see them kind of just having those more intimate moments, really taking in parenthood and like all of the different facets of parenthood, not just like the comedic part, but also like, oh, you're losing sleep because the baby's up all night, or oh, you're just like taking in motherhood because this is something you've desired for years and years. And I think it's going to be like the emotions are going to be all over the place, but I think it's going to be in a really good, like, roundabout way, if that makes any sense. And I'm so excited for it.
I
I'm
know.
so
I'm
excited.
super excited. Emily was saying that she was didn't understand what you meant, Deb, but you were saying that, and he runs out and he says clear a path. I think someone clarified that, like clear a path, people. And his voice sounds funny when he says it, and it's because I think he was eating something in the middle of when all of that happened or went down, right? Is that what you're saying, Deb?
Yeah, I think that's what's happening. Yeah.
Something's going on.
And Jean Gibson, she is on our website. She's on our site.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I can't see the comments.
Okay. I put some of them up there.
Okay.
Okay. It says, and I was just going to get into this. Annie's saying, I hope Lee leaves the paper. And here's Kathy. Kathy's here. Hold on. Let me add her in, and then we'll go from there. She ran here.
Hi, Kathy.
My running days were over like 30 years.
She was out for a jog and she forgot. No, I knew you were coming. Hi. We're just talking about, we're getting into what our hopes and wishes and dreams and stuff are for Rosemary and Lee. And Annie was saying, I hope Lee leaves the paper and focuses on the lumber mill. Rosemary can take the baby to work and hire on Fiona. You know, I saw a promo where Lee's in the office and Elizabeth comes in with her story. They're saying hi to you, Kathy, by the way.
Oh, hi.
And Rosemary comes in. Not Rosemary. Elizabeth comes in with a story for Rosemary that she could use. Of course, Rosemary's still pregnant. Lee's there sitting at the desk. I don't know if he's doing work for the mill because it was supposed to be that they shared the office, but then it was, what mill work did he do last year? I hope we see him doing something. And it says the Wolf family is going to leave because there's no work for them. And they're like, please hire him at the mill. And he's like, I tried. So there is the whole mill conversation going on. But I think I love the idea that he does go back to the mill and less with the newspaper.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Mr. Smith's sitting in a booth having a conversation with Lucas that's serious in one of the promos. And I'm thinking to myself, well, he's back. Does that mean that Arthur Gilchrist could be back?
I hope so.
Really keeping it. So in the IMDb Pro, in the Pro database, when you go in, they do not have any photos of anybody listed on purpose. Like, you don't know who the cast is. And I think they're just, that showrunner, she's really like, she tightened the belt. And so we're going to, like, wouldn't it be great if he does come back? I still wanted to ask Matthew, like, I couldn't read him. Like, I didn't want to put him on the spot when I talked to him. I had a chat with him like Kathy and I did not too long ago. But I would love it if that's, because I know that there's supposed to be a big storyline for Fiona,
I would love it if it's Arthur Gilchrist and them button heads and trying to figure out if there's some common ground there.
I think that would be great. I mean, I love Matthew to death. Like, he's amazing. Love him. And just having him as part of the cast would be amazing.
I know.
Right.
And, I really thought there was a very interesting dynamic between he and Fiona.
Yeah.
And, like, it started off kind of, iffy, but eventually they worked towards this understanding. And I would really like to see them kind of work beyond that, just beyond, like, respect and parting ways. I want to see them explore it a little bit more.
They kind of remind me of Rosemary and Lee right at the beginning, because remember,
she
wanted nothing to do with them, and she was fixated on oh good Lord, Lucas Light, Daniel, Jack. Oh my gosh. Well, it's been 6 years? I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh. Before we move on to like single girls, I have it down as the single ladies. Before we move on to them, and we're still talking about Rosemary and Lee, I'm looking over at what some of the people are saying, and Joan's saying Pascal said she's really pleased. So Pascal did an interview with the official Hearties and they posted it. And some of the people over here were watching it, and Pascal said she's really pleased with how the birth story was written. She was asked for her opinion beforehand, which is good. That's nice that they do that. Yeah. And someone else was saying that it's very realistic. Well, how about when they made Elizabeth? I mean, Elizabeth's was realistic, but it was also what also, well, I mean, it was as realistic as it could be, but what I also loved is how hilarious Rosemary was trying to like she had to scoop the ice, remember, on the lid, and then they had to melt it. And then when they finally found them, when they came looking for them, she started acting like she did a whole bunch of stuff. And then they looked at her and she toned it down. So there is a really beautiful promo that they showed where Elizabeth finally gets to come in to see her, and you can see she's got tears in her eyes, and it's like, it's a moment. So what are you hoping for? This is the big question before we, move on to the single ladies. Girl or boy? What do you hope? Not what do you think it is, but what do you wish it was? What do you wish they had?
Girl.
Girl.
A girl.
Girl.
Lee is just a girl dad. I mean,
For a girl.
Yeah.
I'm also looking forward to seeing if and how Rosemary mellows after having the baby. If she does. I'm just thinking that she may change a little bit. Motherhood may change her, soften her. So I'll be curious to see how they work through that.
Yeah.
Maybe a little. Yeah. I can see that whatever the baby is going to have Lee wrapped around its little finger. I mean,
Oh,
Lee,
yeah.
it's not.
That just goes without saying. Yeah.
People are saying girl. A lot of people are saying girl. There are a few that are hoping for a boy. There's such a controversy over the name because it's supposed to have some kind of a meaning. But I always thought that we keep forgetting, and we kind of like diluted the storyline along the way for some reason. How close Jack and Rosemary were. They grew up together. They were engaged at one point. His mother was like her mother. They were so close. And I thought, why, like, it would be cool, and it was Lee's good friend, it would be cool that if they used his name in a way too, but that's just me, like something like Jacqueline or something, but they already have little Jack, so we're good to go. I get it. A lot of people are saying Patricia or Patty or something like that after Lee's brother, but he has a nephew that was named after him, right? Yeah. I'm curious because I loved what Kevin's reaction was, so apparently it has some kind of meaning. So
I think I've heard people say like possibly the baby being named Hope after like Hope Valley, which I like that idea. Personally, I could also see the
they
baby
hoped for a baby for so long.
That would be very
yeah. I could also see Abigail possibly.
Maybe.
Someone's saying Rosalie, but there is a Rosalie. And does she come back?
It could be.
Is that that red-haired girl that's...
It wasn't supposed to be leaked, but yeah. I think she is coming back.
Yeah.
So.
It was an accident at the end.
When they never should have posted that picture because, whenever a picture's posted, everyone goes through it like with a fine-tooth comb.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
That's crazy.
But I love the idea because she hoped for a baby so much, and it's Hope
Yeah.
Valley after all.
Right.
And the whole town is out there for her. I'm banking on that now.
I'm thinking Hope.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. It was going to be Hope because they've hoped for a baby for so long, and it's finally happening. So,
yeah.
All right, so the single ladies, since we started to talk a little bit about Faith, so I call the single ladies May, Faith, and Fiona. I love that they're going to be living together.
That's hilarious.
I love that too. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I want to know more about May's background. I want to know, like, what's her story? Like, I feel like remember we had talked about this before when all of us have done something about it, but the whole idea of like, who would Nathan be chosen? I feel like it's a no-brainer that it's Faith. But one of the reasons why I was thinking this too is that May hasn't been around that long. They're just going to throw her in some love story already. We still need to explore who she is, like not really couple her up. Not like, we had teasers of who might have had a crush and all, but couple her up so fast. I think I think we need to explore her story. That's my
Yeah.
opinion. I hope we explore her
I
story.
think I agree. I think it would be a missed opportunity to have like this character with all this potential and then just be like, bam, she's the love interest, like, and that's it.
Yeah.
It's so much easier to explore a character when they're not like tied down by anything and
Yeah.
anyone, and I just think it would be really, really good for them to really explore May a little bit more and her background, and does she have any family? How did she like get into medicine in the first place? There's a lot there that
Yeah.
we still don't know.
What about you, Kathy? What do you think about the single ladies? Any ideas you would like?
I'm
for
looking
them?
forward. I think it's going to be a hoot, them living together. I think there's going to be a lot of fun and I think that's probably where most of the humor is going to come from.
Yeah.
Season. I'm not a big fan of throwing together any couples.
Yeah.
Just for the sake of having couples, and that would include May and Nathan, or Faith and Nathan, or
Yeah.
I like to see things happen organically.
Yes.
And then just do the lines, do the stories, and then see where the chemistry might be that or where the bigger chemistry is. So
yeah, amongst the actors themselves, like you don't know, sort of like it took a long time, but I don't know how it happened. But like we can move into Molly. Molly's a single lady, but in my mind, she's not, because her heart is definitely with Bill, and Bill has some kind of feelings for her too.
Yes.
I'm excited. Here's my hopes, wishes, and dreams. I want to know what the conversation was when Molly drove Bill to where he had to go, and she came back and she wanted to tell Faith something, but she saw Faith was struggling. So
Yeah.
we know that was like a cliffhanger. Like, I want to know, right?
I'm sure we'll find out. I'm in addition to the all of my favorites, I'm looking forward to May's storyline, especially as it relates to that guy. I just have the feeling we haven't necessarily seen the last of him.
Her husband, or
No,
was he
her.
Yeah.
He wasn't even. He was married, so she never married him.
Someone else.
Did she? He was married to someone else, and and lied about it.
Mhm.
Right.
So I don't know if he could reform and change and get divorced and still come back to try and court her, or I don't know.
He was a nasty man.
Yeah, he was a little narcissistic. I don't think that's happening.
I don't think they can save him in one season. It took 9 seasons to save Henry. So
Well, yeah, I didn't say this might be the only season, but
Yeah.
it'd be interesting to see where they might go with that.
Yeah.
right.
You have anything?
And as far as chemistry between Nathan and May, I don't know. He still had an attitude every time he would go in to say something to her, and she goes, "Well, hold on, I'm doing this." "Well, you're busy. I'm leaving." And I'm like, well,
Yeah.
this is your problem. Just stay there and listen to her. But no, he got mad and left. And I'm like, he's got to change. And one of the previews said, in one of the promos, I mean, you see Allie saying, you need to get better at this. So maybe she's going to help him. I don't know, but someone has to.
Well, I think that was one of the cool things, though, about that. He was having a rough time, and she was like his friend, and they bonded because of the horse and whatever else. But when he was with Faith, that wasn't the case. When he was with Faith, they got each other's jokes, and they were walking together, and he was more calm and more relaxed. So if you go back in retrospect and you look at that, you see where she brings out the best of him because he's not nervous. That's the whole point. He's
Right.
nervous.
Right.
He's shy, What do you think? What are you thinking, Teresa, about that?
I personally, I just went into season 9 completely actually I really didn't want Nathan and Faith to be put together because I just thought it was like the easy thing to do.
Yes.
And so I was more inclined to May, but I still watched the season very much in like a neutral place.
Mm-hmm.
And towards the end, the scene between Nathan and Faith in the infirmary, that completely changed my mind. Total 180. It took a little bit of processing. and it took the end of season 9 because I wanted to see if Nathan and May would do something that would, supersede that, but it didn't happen.
Mhm.
And to me, that infirmary scene between Nathan and Faith, like it basically proved to me that they have really good chemistry, and there's
Yeah.
potential for this really good, like, emotionally charged, relationship. And so that to me completely changed my mind. So I don't know. I'm where I stand, but I'm like I said, either one, whoever has that ability to like change my mind in season 10 even, I'm fine with.
I
It's
don't think
fine.
between the two of them, they have any emotional sparks or charges. I just don't see it. And I'm not invested in May or May and Nathan. It's just, they just seem like vanilla and vanilla to me. I like to see some tension between my couples.
Oh yeah, I'm all about that romantic
Elizabeth
tension.
was
Yeah.
the good girl, and Lucas was this unknown element, had a little bad boy in him. But Faith and Nathan are just Faith and Nathan. I mean, my mind could be changed, as we enter the season and see where they're going with it. But
well, Faith has a tendency to be very independent. First of all, even before Nathan gets a love interest, if we have to go that route, we need for Faith to have a what happened? What?
She like, oh,
You stopped for a minute.
Okay.
You're good.
She didn't have the best luck. She always has, and not to say anything about Carson, but he was not a match for her. Even towards the end, he challenged her. Anyway, I want something for her. I really, really do. Before we go any further, Emily, I put Emily's comment up here. I'm curious about May too. Faith is perfect match for Nathan. I have already said why in a previous chat. Yes, you did. But the first responder storyline is intriguing to me as someone in healthcare. Yes, and we talked about that at great length. And it opens up all kinds of cool storylines, which I agree with. I have to say the most chemistry that he has is with Fiona. And I know that they don't want to go that route, but I'm sorry. They're little interactions. I love from the time, this was season 8, I think it was.
When they shared the thing.
Well, no, that's season 9, right? I love that when she took the food from him and he's like, what? Is that what you're talking about? When he took the butter cake? Okay. I'm also thinking about in season 8 when she was mad and they put what's his Wesley Salter's character, Weinman, in jail, and she's like, come on, let's go. She was like bossing him around, Nathan, and I loved it. They're just, I don't know why can't they be together, but whatever. I just would love it.
Well, it seems like it would be the most logic thing, but because they're together in real life, but they don't want to do that. So
I'm reading what Viola's saying. Kevin said on an interview something to the fact that he has resigned himself to the fact that he's not good with the ladies or something to that effect. Oh, just that it's not negative, not good. It's just, it's funny. It's part of his character. He gets emotional or nervous, that kind of thing.
He doesn't have any moves.
Yes, because he's like a real honest, I don't know.
Just shy or something. It's just,
yeah.
He doesn't even know how to talk to a girl. So that's maybe Allie, but the only one he can talk to.
He could talk to Faith, though. We saw that.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
And Faith got his jokes, and that was, he was amazed that she was actually. Did you think that was funny? Really? Because Allie doesn't think these are funny. Okay.
Viola says, I believe the fact that the 3 ladies are put together means they will not tie one of them to Nathan. Oh, I don't know about that. No. I think that makes for them gossiping and talking and being all giddy. And I love it because when they're walking in the middle of the town and Fiona says, oh, we don't talk about you, not often. He's like with his face like, oh, like he does. I love that. So it's great. So my other wish for that kind of came true is I like to know where people live. You know how I have an obsession with that. Now we know where 3 of those girls that were a mystery, where they live. We know where Faith and Fiona and May are going to be living, because before, I don't know where they lived,
Well,
right?
we still don't know where they live, but just that they're
Yeah.
together.
Yeah, that they're all going to be staying together.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna be a real hoot. I think it's gonna be so fun.
Hilarious.
I know. And okay, so let's see. Just looking what some people are saying. Living single in Hope Valley, it will show how each lady builds their friendship and how they handle finding love and happiness. And there, when we're on this topic, do you think Carson will ever come back?
Only if he is needed as a spoiler in some future season.
Yeah. And what about, do you wish, is that a wish or a hope that he would come back? And how do you hope he would come back?
No.
No? You're all saying no? What do you think?
Love.
I don't think so.
I feel like it could be interesting if he did, but that would be way, way, way down the line. In my mind, I have this idea for this like storyline of him coming back that could get really interesting, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
Doesn't he have to, accept the fact that Hope Valley, I almost called it Pine Valley, Hope Valley needs a doctor, because he doesn't seem to think that he or Faith needed to be there. We don't need to be here. And she goes, no, we really need to be here now. This proves it more than anything, but he didn't like that idea at all. And I'm like, right then and there, I kind of stopped liking him, because it's like he had no idea what the future would be there. So
I think they would only bring Carson back at a point at which Faith is involved in a relationship. It's getting serious, and they bring him back so that she can validate her feelings that she's over Carson and she's moved on with whoever they match her up with.
Yeah.
The only way I could see him coming back.
Yeah, that's the only way I can see him coming back too, causing more issues and drama.
That or one other scenario, and it may be tied. They could be for the same visit. If he comes back to assist Faith or whoever in doing surgery on Angela so she can get her eyesight back.
Is that a possibility? Anyone have doctor stuff that could actually happen?
Doesn't matter. It's a TV show.
Back in 1920,
here's the thing. Carson did have a patient in season 5, I believe, where they had glaucoma, I believe.
Yeah.
And he wasn't able to do anything about it. So I doubt he'd be able to do anything for Angela.
But he's been off getting all kinds of
right. But he's been getting
for the last several years.
Yeah.
That's where he went. Who knows?
In fact, that's why he's gone, because he's supposed to be making his, doctrine better,
So
get more educated.
my hope is that he does come back, and he comes back soon. I know it won't be in season 10, but maybe in season 11. And I want him to come back just to kind of like tie up loose ends. But it might be interesting if he comes back like married or involved, and they're surprised by it. I think they have an opportunity for Faith, whenever it's happening with her and a relationship, to be at some point where you think it's all good, or maybe it's like a critical point and he comes back, but to help with closure, and it helps her. Yes, I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying it's my hope. And it's, I think a lot of, like, I'm sharing my hope now. Okay. So it is Hope Valley. And then it will help move the storyline on. If he were to come back as a more permanent character, my hope for him would be that he would do more doctor things, because I felt like he wasn't doing. Everybody started to lose, like Nathan wasn't really a Mountie anymore, and Elizabeth wasn't being the teacher anymore, and everybody was all worried about their soap opera and their love story. And I thought, what happened? Like, no.
Unless they decide to open up Hope Valley's first hospital, there's really no need for 2 doctors there, I don't think.
Yeah. And but you don't know, because there's, so this is important. Emily says, what about all the people on the outskirts of town? I thought they always went out to aid them. Hope Valley needs a doctor. You're correct. And I feel like maybe with what's happening, they always wanted to expand a little bit more in some storyline. And I'm thinking that they will. And I feel like if he comes back, they would need another type of a doctor, but not now, not yet. Yeah. I don't know. That's just my hope and my wish. I'm not saying that as of right now, that is what's going to happen. So let's talk about Joseph and Minnie and their family. What are your hopes for them? What's happening and going down with them?
Are we going to find out more about her father and what kind of relationship that's going to have with Joseph?
I hope so.
We don't. I mean, we have no.
That's what they have to go this year to learn more about her family and all the dynamics there.
Do you think she renames the cafe?
Someone said she does.
I don't think that's happening.
So that was one of those fake things that. See, this stuff is what comes across my site. Like, oh yeah, they renamed the cafe.
I don't know. Why wouldn't she though? What's it so taboo about renaming the cafe?
Well, there are a lot of fans who are like hardcore, like season 1 from the start fans who would be pretty upset if the cafe changed, just because like it's always been Abigail's cafe and
it's iconic.
Another triangle with the cafe.
Yeah. Oh, no. I don't think Ryan gives a hoot. I mean, I don't know. They're retooling the season as they do every season. I don't know. I guess I don't have a strong feeling one way or the other. I just wouldn't be shocked if they do change it.
Stop that. I mean, I wouldn't care if they changed it or not. I wouldn't.
Yeah. I wouldn't want them to change it. That would be my hope that they don't, only because it's just a nod to that character and it's a nod to the beginning of why everything came. That's how they could keep her in as a conversation, although the actual actress can't come back and they can, I don't know. That's just, I think, a link I like. I mean, change is good, but there are certain things, there's wonderfulness to how things stay the same. Like in my town, in my small town, there's this one restaurant that has never changed as long as it's been open. Even the decor, it's clean and kept up. But my friend who moved away, he and I went to dinner there and he's like, I haven't been here in years. And he said, everything looks just like it always did. It's like a sense of coming home. So I feel like that if there's other changes in the town, that's fine. Like they changed the saloon's name and the saloon's going to have another facelift. I think that we need that. We need for that to stay the same. That's just my opinion, and that's my hope that it doesn't. But I mean,
if I bought the cafe, The
way I see it is, have any of you watched Heartland?
Yes.
In Heartland, there's Maggie's, the cafe. Yes. From season 1 all the way through season 14, it is always Maggie's.
Right.
And even when it gets re-owned, it's always Maggie's. Yeah. It's just like Maggie's is the, the hot spot where you hang out and, home base. Mm-hmm. And like, I get people not caring about the cafe changing its name and stuff, but I'm with Roxanne on this one. I wouldn't change it just because it's never changed before. Mm-hmm. Like the saloon has changed names before and other things have changed in the town, but Abigail's hasn't, and I would be personally a little bit sad if they changed it.
Well, do you guys think that it's going to change, the saloon is going to change the name?
No. I meant from season 1 it had a different name.
No, I'm saying, but do you think the saloon will change once it turns into a hotel?
No, I don't think so. It might just be the Queen of Hearts Hotel instead of Queen of Hearts Saloon. Yeah. So,
I mean, I think that as long as it's Abigail's, there's always that one tiny thing she might come back. As long as there's something that has her name, she might. And people
still think Jack's coming back.
Don't even. Don't
That's
get me
different.
Started. Don't get me started on that.
People still. He still ask me, "Is Jack coming back?" I'm like, "No, honey, no, he's not." No.
I get in trouble because I'm like, "What part of it? Aren't you watching this at all? He died. died. They buried him, died.
Wait, so Joyce here, I wanted to address this. Didn't Paul go over to the new channel? So let's talk about that. I don't know how we can't get this out there. There is no such thing as going to another channel and you can't go back and forth to things. I do know that there's an exclusive for some of the actors that went over there, but that's an exclusive they were given, not that they were told they can't come back or they can't go over there. Yes, Paul has done, I think, a movie or two, and they will premiere on a different channel, but he's done stuff for even CBS and other channels. I mean, you could go anywhere. You're not owned by a channel. I don't know how that came out. I think people misunderstood what those exclusive offers were. So, I mean, yeah, that's just me trying to clarify that. And Margie's saying to me, getting back to this is one of my biggest hopes. I need the cliffhanger between Bill and Molly. I want to see some storylines with them. Don't you? Yes? No?
Yeah.
I'll always be of the belief that Bill and AJ were soulmates, but that's just me. So, you know.
I like Bill and I like Bill and Molly.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to see more going on with those two.
Okay. All right, that sounds good. Now, all right, a little intermission time here. We're going to play a game. We're going to do our first round where I get to torture you girls. So
oh my God.
I'm going to start off with name 4, okay? So, and you can play in the comments too. It's just for fun. All right, so let's see how much of a Heartie you are. Name 4, and you could take turns. It doesn't matter. Name 4. Actually, here's what we'll do. You'll work as a team. There's 4 of you, and I'm over here. Just so you each have to name 1. Name 4 memorable objects from When Calls the Heart. 4 memorable objects. You and all can answer in the comments. So we'll go with you first, Teresa. Name an object that's memorable.
Pocket watch.
Yes. All right. Love it. Go ahead, Kathy.
Teacup.
Teacup. What about you, Christina?
Well, I will have to say the package that Lucas gave because we never found out what it was.
The gift that they like, we don't know what was the gift. That's hilarious. That's so good. We still don't know.
No, we still don't know what it was.
People
have
are
no
saying,
clue.
Oh, wait, we'll wait for Deb. What's something that's an iconic object?
Teresa, was the pocket watch it's our time now, or is it the pocket watch that got stolen?
I mean, pocket watches are just kind of like throughout the series, so it really depends on which character you're talking about.
Okay, since I've just started watching season 1 because there's a marathon going on, I'm going to say the turnip.
That's a big one, yeah.
It's disgusting, but yeah.
So there are a lot of people putting all kinds of stuff, mushrooms. Go ahead, Teresa.
The board that says "Remember me," forgive me, Pa.
Yes,
that's iconic. Yeah,
good one. I like the idea of the bell, the cowbell that she rings. I think that's a good one. I think somebody put that in there. The compass. That was one of the most touching stories. Is the compass
Makes me
Jack
cry.
gives that to her. Oh my! I keep calling him Jack. You know what I meant. When Bill gives it to little Jack. Oh my gosh, one of my favorite episodes that get to my heart every time. Another episode that gets to my heart that's a very recent one is the one where he gets on his knees, Henry, to pray. And is that okay? I'm like, oh my God, I lost it. I couldn't stand it. And then, of course, the iconic scene of like Erin when she falls to the ground. It still gives me chills when she screams out Jack's name. That's like a big deal. All right, here's another round. You ready? Everyone's putting all the little ideas over there. What about the balloon? That's kind of iconic, isn't
Someone
it?
put on Elizabeth's wig.
Elizabeth season 5 wig.
You had that wig as a guest, right, Kathy?
Yes, she did. That
Candles.
was awesome.
Oh my God, Elizabeth's novel. Wait, the wig, that's the best. The rowboat that they were always in on the lake. Oh my gosh, there's so
And the
many
little spider.
Oh, what about the pin? The ugly pin that that.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, name 4 of your favorite visitors to Hope Valley. So we all got to pick a visitor we like.
Okay. Ooh.
Jack's mom.
Trying to think of someone I liked. Oh, Christopher. I liked Christopher.
Okay.
Jack's mom.
You like Jack's mom. What about you, Kathy? Who's a visitor you liked?
Does Arthur Gilchrist count?
Yes. 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 Christina?
Helen, Lucas's mom.
So one of my favorite guests would have to be well, actually she wasn't she was for a couple episodes. It was the aunt that was going to take away the
yeah.
And then changed her mind.
Right?
Yeah.
And then her heart softened, right? I loved. And do you know who she is? Who the actress is?
Wait, who?
It's the aunt that was going to take away the children from Abigail.
Oh, yeah. She's married to one of the showrunners or directors, right? Who is she married
to? My Peter.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But
Can I change mine? I actually
sure you can.
I just thought about it, and I really liked Sophia, Rosemary's friend.
Yes.
The architect.
Yes.
I loved her.
Yeah.
And she had a little thing going on with Carson, so they may be hooked up again when and you don't know.
That was love at first sight. Yes.
They come back to visit, and she's going to be like the godmother or something. I don't know. I'm just saying.
You are making that up now, yeah.
I'm writing some stories. Do you hear anybody hear that out there in Australia? People have all kinds of wonderful things they're saying, different names and different.
I really did not like Cindy Busby or Cindy, whatever her name is.
Well, you're not supposed to like her character.
I know.
Yeah.
They accomplished that.
She's a good actress.
I adore Cindy
I
Busby,
love
but
everything
yeah,
she does.
I love her
good
character.
Nasty character.
Nasty
And she can be very funny.
Yes, yes. Julie is the sister. Julie, I consider her like a recurring character. Like I don't like. I was trying to like. Yes. Oh wait, Bruce. When Bruce was on, he was hilarious. This is Arlene who's sharing that.
Yeah.
That relationship that he had with Bill was hilarious. I love those two together.
I thought it was. I wish I had thought of that. It was one of the most touching guests and plot lines, because he just so sold his character as, yes, I was an outlaw, but now, you know, like Bill, I've aged, I'm tired. And when Bill was going to put him in handcuffs or so, oh no, he was getting ready to take him to the next town or whatever town, he said,
yeah,
can we just rest for the night? You know, I can't take it like I used to, and maybe have a meal before we go.
No, he wanted pancakes.
That whole end of an era.
Yes.
Thing. I love Bruce Boxleitner in everything he does.
Yeah.
He was really.
Scarecrow and Mrs. King, right?
Yes.
I was obsessed with that show. I love that show. All right, so we've got the kiddos. What are our hopes for the kiddos? What do you think, Christina? You got any hopes for any of the kiddies of Hope Valley Kids?
Well, I think we're probably going to see a lot more of them this season.
Yeah.
I think they're going to. Yeah, I definitely think they're going to show a lot more of them. And they said that they're going to explore or more. They're going to. I guess they're going to find out that water hole.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to do more with the kids this season.
That's good.
You know, show them more, and I think they're going to do a lot more things. Probably with Elizabeth, you know, they didn't like last season. They didn't really get a very big, you know, role because of
Weren't they still coming off of COVID then? Too?
They were.
Yeah.
When they
So I think this time they're gonna have more. They're gonna show more of the kids.
Yeah. I'd like to see him back in school more with
Yeah.
that. And even have not Nathan, Lucas come in and help out occasionally. Teacher.
Yeah, that would be cool.
He's great as a teacher.
Yeah.
He was.
they're doing so much like they do every season in expanding the town or the resources of the town, because they're going to bring radio in this season. I'm wondering if when they're going to get to the point where the schoolhouse needs to be expanded and maybe split up the grades or something, or that they need a new teacher, or, you know, I'm just wondering when they're going to get to that point.
Yeah.
Build a
That's
different. Well, they probably wouldn't build a new structure because that's the Jack. The whole school was dedicated to him, so
Mhm.
they probably will never build a new structure. But I'm interested in seeing how that
They can
school
add on. There's a lot of room. They
Yeah,
have
add
a
on.
lot
Yeah,
of
you're right.
space.
You're right.
Avis says more from Anna and Emily and Opal and Robert's little sister. Plus, what is Toby's story? I know. I'm excited to see what Toby's
Yeah.
story is. Yeah.
Who belongs to Toby? Who's his parents? Does anyone know? I know some of you. I know you guys know.
Mm-mm. No, I don't. I don't know. I want to, but I'm glad that they finally are putting uh Robert's sister in. She's a cutie patootie.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I remember in one of my prediction videos when the season had ended, I had said that I think that she's school age, we'll see her. But I think we keep forgetting, and I always remember that she shares a birthday. She's a year older, I think, right? Is she a year older or something, maybe a couple years older than little Jack? Little Jack was born on, is it Christmas Eve? And so was she,
Yes,
if I'm
she
not
was.
mistaken. Yeah, she was too. So that's cute.
Yeah, I
like
think she is a year older.
Yeah, I know she's older, but I didn't know if it was a year or two. It was during one of the Christmas specials, and then the following year was the Christmas. Yeah, so she's probably a year older. So I'm excited to see what they do with the children that are getting older. Like they're actors that have been on since basically day one, and I feel like they're good. They're like the production company is good with like having a responsibility to expand their storylines, not just let them move away and fade into nothing. I think it would be my hope that we start seeing them take over spots and not in like such a hurry to add new people to the cast, but to sort of develop the kids, their storylines as adults,
But now we got to find jobs for them.
That's okay. We can.
Well, they're having trouble with jobs. Remember, everything's closed down except the mill.
But yes, the mill isn't, but then there's some other things I think that are coming along the way too. It's just anyway, it's just my hope that they don't just grew up and fade into the black hole that some people fade into in Hope Valley. Yeah. Bryson was saying that means in season 11, little Jack will be in the classroom. Yeah.
That will be cute.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to know what I think is going to be hilarious? Is when Rosemary's child is in school. Deb?
He's gonna be trouble.
I really hope that they're still on in 4 or 5 years because
Yes.
we've got to see that. If nothing else, we've got to see that.
Yes, I agree.
Can you imagine her getting mad?
I know. Let's see. Let's talk about Nathan. What are our hopes for Nathan this season? We talked a little bit about it, but what else do we hope for him? Anyone?
I think with him, I just want to see him get more confident in himself, because like you said, he's just seems like he's just kind of like, thinking that he's not a good, person to talk to women and stuff like that. So I think he needs to build up his confidence more this, season and try to, what was that noise?
That's a bird. Deb has birds.
I just think that he needs to build up more confidence, and have, better knowledge of, trying to, I don't know, talk to women.
That might be his shtick until he finds the right person for him, and then that person gets him.
He needs an attitude adjustment. He's too judgy for one thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
You remember when his first encounters with Lucas, after arriving in town, days after Lucas did, town doesn't need you here. And then
you're not a good fit.
Was it his father who, made mistakes and he judged him and he just needs to mellow out. And maybe if he chills out a little bit, he'll attract women and be able to have a sustainable relationship.
Yeah.
Do you think that he was really, I don't know, I feel like I saw a bit of a growth with his character, because all characters grow, like Rosemary, for instance. Henry's another one. I didn't see him.
He takes 2 steps forward. He takes 1 step forward and 2 steps back, because at the end of season 8, I had hopes. He comes to Lucas and he says, well, she really loves you.
Yes.
You've known it all along.
Yep.
And, if the Pinkertons come back, I've got your back. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
In the next season, he's picking fights and mocking him and challenging him. And he was nasty again, very sarcastic, and with almost everybody he dealt with.
Well,
he had a brain injury. He had a brain injury. My goodness gracious.
He was like that before, though.
Yeah, he was. Well, the 2 times that they tried to teach him how to drive, he was just a jerk. I mean, it's like, well, if you ever want to learn how to do it, really.
Oh, I didn't think he was a jerk. I thought that was hilarious. No, he wasn't a jerk. I thought that was hilarious.
He just has lack of confidence in himself.
And lack of social skills.
Yeah. Pardon me?
And lack of social skills.
Because he's like, the Mountie rough and gruff kind of thing. I don't know. I'm okay with all of that. My hope is that he definitely, it's not even about love. I want him to be a Mountie. Don't you want to see him do Mountie things? Isn't he a Mountie? Isn't that what he's supposed to be doing? Apparently he does. He gets an award.
I want him to hang around. I want him to become besties with Lucas and hang around him and watch Lucas's game and learn from it.
Oh, forgot. Lucas is a different man. They're different. They're never going to be the same. They're totally opposites. Lucas and Lee are kind of alike. Bill is kind of more like what Nathan is.
Exactly. They're both jerks.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Bill is a jerk. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you.
Well, listen,
always,
you know what I have to say about that? You two are they're jerks. And here's what I love about that. They're actors playing characters, and they must be playing them well.
Well, yeah. I give you that. I'm talking about the character. The characters are jerks.
Yeah. Do you have any hopes for Nathan, Teresa? Mountie wise or anything? We know where he lives, so I'm not worried about that.
I mean, I'm trying to think. I guess I'm looking forward to his medal ceremony.
Yes.
And I'm looking forward to seeing more of him and Allie and him finding love. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I definitely want some Mountie things. I don't know. I guess I just like a man riding around on a horse in a red coat doing Mountie stuff. I don't know. And I'm missing it.
What? You mean more action with him? Yeah.
Yes, more detecting and mystery. But I like that. I like that kind of stuff. So that might be why I want that. All right. So do you think the kiddos from the orphanage, Jan was asking, will come back to Hope Valley? I don't know. I'm not sure.
I still have people asking when's the next season of When Hope Calls, and I'm like, never. They had 2 episodes. That's all I got. And the only reason they did it was to show Nathan and Abigail. I mean, Jack and Abigail.
Yeah.
So
Emily says, Nathan finding his true love, someone that will be loved for who he is as a person and not cast in someone's shadow. More scenes with Allie and actual Mountie work. Thank you, Emily. I need some Mountie work too. You and I are together on that. Lillian says, I think we saw Nathan mellow a lot in season 9. I want him to be happy. Me too. But we all aired our feelings on that one. Let's see. Ready? Time for more torture. Okay. This is acted out. So you know what? You can only act it out if you can get into the private chat. I'm going to put in there what the private chat says. You got to be able to click the button off to the left. Off to the right.
I can't get into the private chat.
No, you're going to miss out.
I'm sorry, Roxanne.
What?
I'm not acting anything out. We're on strike.
Oh, come on. Get out of here.
I'm on vacation. Does that mean?
And I'm retired.
I'm right. I'm going to act it out then, and you have to guess. How's that?
Okay.
Let me do that. Okay, you ready? So it's a word. I want you to guess it.
Is it is it a word related to Hope Valley or
Yes,
when calls the heart?
When calls the heart.
Okay.
All right. One word.
Ring.
The ring. The
Engagement ring.
engagement ring.
Just engagement. Okay.
Huh.
All right. You ready? Here's the next one.
Heart.
Heart.
Heart. Love.
Mm-mm.
When calls the heart? Heart to heart.
Beating.
Hearties.
You got
Beat.
it. All
Thank you.
right. See, that wasn't so bad. I like acting out and doing charades.
We never
All right.
would have guessed, Roxanne.
All right. I have a challenge for you. You all have to, I have a question. Okay. You ready? What is the title of the one woman show that Rosemary created?
Was it Rosemary?
Anyone remember? No.
Rosie?
Something at that. I wonder if anyone else has it. Okay. It is,
What season?
it's, I don't know if it was 2, I think. I don't know.
She came in 2.
It's the one woman show. It's called Coming Up Rosie. That was the
Oh,
title.
My word.
All right. Who was the anonymous? You all know this. Who was the anonymous donor for the new schoolhouse and church?
Jack.
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 Very good. Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
I'm going to guess Jack.
He very good. Okay. All right. Who haven't we talked about? Just in general. I was just trying to get on my list and get my people. And Henry, what do you think? What's your hope for Henry?
Now talk about someone who needs a love interest.
Yeah.
That guy needs it before anybody else in town who's single.
So
Yeah.
does he come back? Does he come back and have to do community service? Is that what's happening when he's carrying his little toolbox around that you see in the promos? Somehow to get him out of jail. I mean, they have to get him out of jail somehow. No. But
I don't know. I'm not sure, but he looks like he's working and doing all kinds of stuff. So something's going to happen. Maybe Mr. Smith doesn't press charges.
yep.
I think that I'd love to see his son and his daughter-in-law come to Hope Valley, because there's a void to be filled from Jesse and Clara leaving. And they're in that sweet spot, that age where they could fill that gap.
Yeah.
I'd like to see
His
more.
son is even a bad boy who.
Sorry, go ahead, Teresa.
Oh
Sorry.
no, that's okay. You continue.
No. I wanted you to say, I think that, go ahead, go.
I think that I would like to see more of him and Bill kind of, reform their. They have ins and outs throughout the seasons, and I feel like it kind of just wasn't there as much in the last few seasons, and I'd like to see more of that, like
Yeah.
reconnecting, especially since Bill is, coming face to face with his own mortality in the last season. I think he and Henry would have a lot to talk about.
That's true. Conversations that they should be having. Yeah. I don't know. I'm sorry.
I think Henry and Lucas are gonna, get a lot closer too.
Yeah, they already were, and I think.
I mean, yeah, they already are, but I think he's gonna try to help Henry out more.
Mhm.
Work. I think they're gonna work, together to help each other out. And like you said, like the whole season is supposed to be like everybody's helping each other out with financial problems. So I think they're going to show in this season everybody just kind of coming together and helping each other out with all that. And I think everyone's going to really kind of get a lot closer with each other. Everybody.
I also think that we need to see Henry in church, because it was such a big deal that he would come to faith.
Yeah.
And now we need to see him walk through those doors. Do you know what I mean? See him sitting there. I think I need to see that. That's what I hope. Martha says she thinks Hickam needs some love. Maybe, I guess. And what about Lucas and Elizabeth? What are our hopes and wishes for them?
Stop it.
What?
Kathy said, "Who cares?"
Who cares?
What are our hopes and wishes for them? I hope.
I hope they get married before episode 11 or 12. I mean,
Yeah. I do too.
Yeah.
I just want to see them on the screen, still in love, bonding as a family. You know, Lucas continuing to develop his relationship with Jack. I'm not that
with his little baby.
I'm getting married. I mean, yes, that would be wonderful, but I'm just enjoying the relationship and their comfort with each other. And, you know, I just think it's great. They've come so, I often go back and watch season 6 when they first encountered each other. And it's like, you guys don't even know that this, you just met your future for, you know, each of you. Gives me a kick. Yeah.
We've never seen a married Elizabeth. I would like to see her married.
Yeah.
I would like to see the dynamics of her marriage, because when you look at all of the couples, for the longest time, we were always watching on a daily basis the marriage of Rosemary and Lee, right? And now then Minnie came in, Minnie and Joseph, and we got to see the dynamics of their, but they even have.
We didn't really get to see it with Elizabeth.
Yeah, we didn't. They haven't been there that long. So
One day.
what other married couples do we usually don't get to see them as couples? You know, it's more single trying, and I know that was the basis. All those women were husbands had died and how they were making it. I get it. But as time's evolving, there's always a wedding and like we saw what went down with Clara and what was Clara's? Jesse. That became ridiculous after a while, like always arguing and whatnot. I just think it would be nice, and we see now, it's all new, the more couples, and I would really like to see Elizabeth as a wife. I want to see her married. That's what I want to see. I want at the wedding, and then I want when we roll into 11, getting to see them as a married couple.
Yeah.
And someone was saying this, and this is true. Where will they live?
I know.
Yeah.
Maybe when he redid the saloon, maybe he built some kind of building out back that's where they could live.
I don't know. Anyone have any wishes, hopes, and dreams? My hope is I don't want Lucas to be something else. I want him to stay as a businessman and stay working in the
definitely. Yeah.
Oh, Kathy and Teresa, any ideas? Any comments?
I guess I thought about it. Would he move in there? And I don't think so. That was her home with Jack. So I think that they might go in another direction. It could be he could build a home for her, or, you know, that could tie in with, you know, Lee's lumber mill. And you see, I think we've seen promos with Lucas in working clothes, not dressed up in a suit. So maybe he's working on building something for her. I don't know.
I think
maybe Ned will invent the condo.
Teresa
and everything else.
Yeah. Go ahead, Teresa.
I think it'll be interesting to see, you know, how Lucas and Elizabeth navigate little Jack, asking more about Jack Sr. Just kind of how you do like that delicate balance between Jack's real dad and then Jack's stepdad, and just kind of working through that. That'll be interesting.
Yeah.
And then I would like to know more about I would like to see Lucas open up a little bit more about his childhood and his past, because I think there's a lot there that we still don't know, or even just like maybe more details about that, I guess. So yeah, I think there's a lot of stuff that we still, you know, need to see.
A moment I've looked forward to, and I hope they do it, almost since this relationship began, is that moment when little Jack wants to call Lucas Dad or Papa or whatever, and how Elizabeth deals with that, and how Lucas deals with it. Because you know, they don't want to, neither one of them, I don't think, want to diminish Jack's role,
Right.
Big Jack's, excuse me, role in Little Jack's life. But it'll be a dicey thing because Jack, what does Jack know? Jack knows this picture, and Uncle Bill gave me something he said belonged to my real dad, but to him, Lucas is his father figure. And so
Right.
how to navigate that will be very interesting to see.
Just like they did with Allie and Nathan. He's her uncle, but then she changed it up and wanted to call him dad. And that was kind of a cool, like sitting on the bench, and it kind of just came out. Like, and she's like, "Is that okay?" And he's like, yeah, that's okay. That was an interesting way, a different situation, but an interesting way to like bring that up. I definitely want to learn about who is Jeanette. They leave some mystery there, and I want her to somehow come back so we can resolve it or maybe explore it or something.
And there's been a lot of speculation that Jeanette is an older woman.
Mm-hmm.
And wouldn't that be cool if Jeanette shows up in town and she and Henry kind of hit it off?
Yeah.
I do want him to have someone in his life, and that might be a possibility, because I don't think there's anybody in town would be a likely candidate.
What about you, Christina? What are your hopes for Lucas and Elizabeth, or just Lucas, or just Elizabeth?
Yeah, I want them to be, I want them to show them successful, like in his new business that he's doing, with the hotel. I think it's going to be a huge hit for them. It's going to be, it's going to do really well. And I want to know where they're going to live. I mean, I want to see more of, their homestead, like him either building a house for her or something along that line, something that's more for like just them two.
Mm-hmm.
I
want to see a house that would be suitable. We were saying, what about jobs? Well, the hotel's going to bring jobs. Maybe that's why Hickham's helping out so much, because he was so invested in the oil well. Now the oil well's gone. I know he was working with Lee, but it's been a while. So now he's helping out with the hotel and the saloon. That bell ringing thing.
I know, that was so cute.
Jean says, would like to see Lucas build the treehouse with little Jack. That's
true. Oh, yeah.
And when they were saying where he lives, Tanya wrote, he's going to live in the row house, but his closet's going to be at the Queen of Hearts. And this is a big deal. What about the book cart Elizabeth wanted to build? I think it'll be built. I would like it to be built. I would like her to go out and do something with the people that are on the outskirts. We lost that, and I would like to have it come back.
The one thing I was worried about that was after I think it was Lucas was talking to Joseph took the wheel and kind of moved it a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is that foreshadowing? Is that wheel going to come off? Is this going to be a problem? Because she says there's going to be problems. It's all going to be rectified, but there's still going to be problems. So I'm like, oh, well, this could be one of them.
And that's a good thing, though. It's realistic.
Yeah, well.
Maybe down the road, Elizabeth will get pregnant from Lucas.
Yeah.
Well,
I want to see that. I want to see them have it. And I loved it because when she brings the clothes over to Rosemary, and Rosemary's like, oh yeah, no, I do need them, especially because nothing came my way, but she's going to adjust them, which is funny because I interviewed Barbara, and we talked a little bit about her style, which was funny. And she was kind of like, she had a funny look on her face, Barbara, and didn't really say anything. And then the promo comes out. So there's a whole thing about how they change how she looks in how Rosemary looks in her maternity wear. Like when she says to Elizabeth, all these pastels and dusty rose. I thought that was great. But what was my point of even saying all of that? Like I lost my brain and my thought.
Is Elizabeth going to get pregnant later on?
Yes. And she goes, give me whatever you're not going to use. Let me have them back. Yeah. You know what I mean? I was like, oh yeah, you're planning on having a baby, which I know is natural. But still.
Yeah.
Brian says he wants to see Elizabeth more focused on teaching her students and Lucas passionate about his career. Me too. I do too. And Tanya has a question, and we're going to round it out because we have been here for over an hour, girls. I'm getting tired. Are you?
I know, me too.
Yeah. Tanya says, Roxanne, what do we know about Mark Brandon's role? So Mark Brandon comes in on the 10 and 11. Is that what he's in? And we know that he, at the time, he didn't disclose it, but we know that he is, I don't know if he's running for governor or he wants to be reelected. But his quote, and I always say this, he said they couldn't wait for him to come to town, and then they can't wait for him to leave. So that's what he said, the actor himself said. So it's like, and I remember Kevin talking, and he's like, I do get an award, and that opens up a whole other storyline. So I think that's Mountie stuff, I think that maybe, somehow he's on the take. That's much as what we know. 9 and 10, Brian. I always thought it was 10 and 11. I don't know why I always get it wrong, and I think Brian always corrects me. It's a block.
I think it might be 9, 10, and 11, actually.
Okay, I know it's a block. He's in for a block of episodes. I know he's not in the last one. I remember him saying that. But anyway, okay.
I made a comment. He was posting on somewhere. I don't know which site it was. And I said something to the effect, are you doing something? Is your character shady in the point that you want to try to take over the hot tub or whatever, the spa?
Hot tub.
And he actually said, you're not wrong. You're not real wrong about that. So he's probably going to come in and try to get money out of this, and the hot springs is going to be his thing or whatever. But
yeah,
I was just happy he answered me.
Yep. I think that
he usually does.
About the land, who owns the land and the rights to the land because of the mineral and all that. So I think there's, where it's supposed to boost and help the town. Would there be questions about they lose it or have to pay for it or something? So I think that's all like, wait, this is funny. Hope Valley hot tub.
That sounds like a porn movie.
Well, Bill, when Bill was in there and the 3 women were looking at him, he's like, whoa,
I know. I think that's the whole thing is hilarious. I put different clips of it on and played the song Hot Stuff by Donna Summers. I'm very interested in it. So normally Kathy and I on Monday nights, we will recap and we have guests come on, but we have people confirmed, but not unless the strike is over, right? But there was somebody that I had asked. She's actually a set designer, and I was like, I want to know about the building of these. I asked Sarah, and she gave us some information, but I want to know about how they built those, because I find that interesting, because they really are in the woods. And do you remember the only thing that we really got to see last year for any behind the scenes is one time there was a clip of Jack and Aaron, and they were parting away the trees, and they were laughing and making faces and whatnot. And I kept saying to myself, why is everybody always in the woods? What's happening in the woods? We saw Rosemary and Lee in the woods.
Yeah.
All these pictures of the woods. Well, they're really in the real woods, and then they put this set, which I find to be very interesting, and who I would have never guessed in a million years a hot tub. Oh, someone was saying, what if someone goes in and sneaks in there at night and gets hurt or something? I was wondering maybe that's how Nathan, goes and rescues. He's going to go camping with his daughter, and maybe while they're camping, they discover someone trying to do something at nighttime, like one of the kids or whatever, and rescues.
Well, Elizabeth said in an interview or something that there's a life or death situation, but everyone is okay.
She goes, well, it's Hallmark, so it's One Calls the Heart, so everyone's okay, but there has to be some drama. Yeah.
But she said there was a life or death situation, but everyone seems to be okay. So.
Brian's saying they don't think the SAG strike to be resolved until 2024.
Wow.
It's a long time. Yep.
Terrible.
And as far as we know, everyone's filming right now?
They are, because I call it the dispensation, but it's a waiver that they got.
I actually read something today that and I can't quote who said it, but one of the folks who's involved in the strike, he said it's a misconception that the people have gotten waivers. He said, these are the folks who have agreed to the terms that the strikers are putting out there. They've agreed to them. So, yep, you can start operating again. That's what I read.
Which I was just going to say, which is wonderful to know. Mm-hmm. And then there are people that are mad that we're saying, then you have nothing to negotiate when you allow that happening. But the point is, not everybody is greedy. Not every I don't even know what the right lingo would be. It's not necessarily always a production company, but streaming systems, big whoever, they're not all behaving that way, which is nice. Which and I'm not shocked nor surprised that they would be able to film, that they would come up with some type of agreement. I think that's good. That means then that, there's light at the end of the tunnel. And of course it would be the smaller businesses, the smaller production companies, whatever, that are doing the right thing. And those big conglomerate greedy people, are greedy.
Could you imagine something like that happening in a teacher strike, though? That a whole bunch of teachers say, well, I agree to this, so I'm going to go back to work.
No, that's not how it would be.
It's the other side is agreeing.
The other side that's agreeing.
Oh, so administration.
It'd be like the Board of Education or agreeing to the teachers' terms, so they come back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's not that at all. It was, they said, we agree to your terms, we'll do it. And that's why they got like the waiver. All right. Well, this has been wonderful. Who has parting words? Anybody have anything they want to say before we go? Go ahead,
One of the things I am most looking forward to this year is we finally get to meet Lucas's dad. I can't wait to see who they cast as the dad.
This year?
We do get that?
Whenever he gets, if they get married this year, yes, I would expect to see his father.
No, I don't think we will.
No.
They didn't show up for Elizabeth's wedding, so
I don't think we will see his parents. And the only and I'm not the authority, but here's why I think that we won't. I don't think we will because of conflicts that were going on when they were doing season 10, because the actress who is Helen, she was filming the exact same time they were filming. So she was not there, but who knows? I mean, I could be wrong.
I don't know. They do things that we don't know they're doing. So
that's true. This is a prediction that I said, I think they'll wind up getting married at the end and it'll be something intimate. And then in season 11, they'll have something big party-wise.
Yeah, I think with all the financial problems, I think they're just going to kind of like not really elope, but like just like a small, intimate gathering, wedding, whatever. And that's it.
But your hope, Kathy, that's your wish that you meet the dad. Mm-hmm. Okay, me too.
Yeah, I'm sure eventually we will. Maybe in season 11,
Who knows? 11 is going on now. Ooh. All right, friends. Anyone else? Any parting words besides we all jumped down Kathy and said no?
Yeah,
I just hope
I'm sorry. I don't care about Lucas's father. How about that?
Yeah.
Janice, I'm just being the devil's advocate. Do you think the big companies are concerned about dividends for their stockholders? The big companies are really make like billions of dollars. And they said that it sounds just like when our board said, we just don't have the money to add for what you're asking for. And here we were asking for like a 2% raise and the area was 3.5 or something. And then they went and turned around and they made these like $150,000 positions. They created 2 of them. So that's just what we were negotiating. These people, the one guy's like, we don't have the money to do that. He didn't say it that way. And this guy's a billionaire and he was sitting on his back deck in all his glory. I mean, it's greed. I
can't buy a 4th house in Antigua. It's disgusting.
I know.
That goes on.
I know. All right. Anyone else? Any comments, concerns, questions?
I just hope we see the wedding before episode 11. That one. I got a feeling we're not, but I would just like that to happen.
Sounds good. All right, we're tired. This has been we need to go night now. It's pajama party night time.
See, if you lived in the central time zone, it'd only be like a little after 9.
Well, for Christina and Teresa and myself, we're tired.
Yeah, we walked the whole strip today, so I'm.
Deb, do you want to hook up? We can meet up and go somewhere and get something to eat.
And then we could talk all we want about this.
There you go.
And we won't have anybody yelling at us.
Thank you.
I just can't believe it's already, so close. It's just, couple days.
I remember I started the countdown. It was 70 days.
It's what now, 5? Is it 5 days?
What, 4 now, I think. Well, 4 plus, the hours.
Hours.
Yeah. I had an argument with someone that there's not more. No, it's more than that many days. Oh, no, it's 3 days and 22 hours. So I said, well, there is 22 hours tacked onto that. So, yeah.
It's all good. All right.
All righty.
Thank you for spending the evening.
See you next Monday.
Yes.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
And I don't have a board meeting. Yay.
Oh, good.